So in class today I said I would post a few questions for you to practice in case you were a little bit worried about the quiz tomorrow. The quiz tomorrow is 10 questions. The first 6 questions are computation of inequalities, just direct math. Then there are 3 multiple choice problems. And finally there is one word problem similar to the ones that you were solving in class today with the train. So the first problem I have for you is a direct computation problem. 1/4 times the quantity, negative 20x plus 36, is greater than or equal to negative 1. At this point, you might want to go ahead and pause so you can work out the problem, because I'm going to go ahead and solve it and get the answer. So if you want to get through all of your work before you see the answer, go ahead and pause, and then when you're ready, just hit play again. Alright, so I need to distribute this 1/4 to both the negative 20 and the 36. So that gets me negative 5x plus 9 is greater than or equal to negative 1. I know many of you have commented that you have trouble with fractions. You get to use a calculator. So the fraction bar signifies division. So in the calculator you would type in 1 divided by 4 and then times negative 20. That gets you negative 5. And then 1 divided by 4 times 36 will get you the 9. So subtract 9 from both sides. Negative 5x is greater than or equal to negative 10. Divide by negative 5 on each side. You get x. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is positive 2. Remember, we divided by a negative with this step here. So that's going to flip that inequality sign to greater than or equal to 2. And that would be your answer. Just like that. Nothing more to do. Next problem. Which of the following is a solution for 2x plus 7 is less than 8x minus 5? So again, if you want to pause it, work it out, pick your choice, and then press play again to see the right answer and listen to the explanation if you need it. So the correct answer is D. 3 is a solution. So let's look at why it's D. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 7 from each side. 2x is less than 8x minus 12. Subtract 8x from each side. Negative 6x is less than negative 12. Divide by negative 6. X, 2. Again, I divided by a negative in this step, so my sign will flip to x is greater than 2. So, the question asked, which of the following is a solution for 2x plus 7 is less than 8x minus 5? Well, if the solution gets us x is greater than 2, I've got to make the choice of 3 because that's the only answer that is greater than 2. You also could go ahead and just substitute each of those choices in and see which one is right. For example, if you plug 0 in for each x value, 2 times 0 plus 7 is 7. 8 times 0 minus 5 is negative 5. 7 is not less than negative 5, so I know 0 isn't right. It doesn't make it true. You could do the same thing with 1. So you get 9 is less than 3. Again, that isn't true. And finally, you can try, well, not finally, you can try it with 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 7 is 11. 8 times 2 is 16 minus 5 is 11. 11 is not less than 11, so that doesn't work, leaving us with 3, which you should go ahead and check it. Oops. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 7 is 13. 8 times 3 is 24, minus 5 is 19. 13 is in fact less than 19. And your final problem, it's a word problem and it's in my messy handwriting, so I apologize. A car rental company charges $35 per day for a sedan plus 22 cents per mile driven. Carrie can spend no more than $50 a day on the rental. What is the maximum number of whole miles Carrie can drive each day? So again, you can go ahead and pause at this point, write out your inequality, solve it, and then press play when you're ready to check your work and listen to an explanation. So remember, guys, the key is get your key information underlined. So we know $35 per day, that's important, 22 cents per mile, and no more than $50, right? And then we want to know the number of whole miles Carrie can drive. Whole miles is pretty important because that indicates there's going to be some rounding involved. And maximum is also important. All right. We want to know the number of miles driven each day. So this $35 per day is only going to occur one time because I just want to know how many miles she can drive per day. So 35 for one day is $35. So it's not 35x. We're not finding it for a bunch of days. We're finding it for one day. All right, so let's look at our inequality. Let m equal miles, let x equals miles. Remember, you can use the letter of your choice. 22 cents per mile plus $35 per day, but it's only for one day, so it's just $35, has to be less than or equal to 50. Remember, she can drive no more than 50 miles. This represents her total cost. I'm sorry, she can spend no more than $50. The amount on the left represents her total cost. And that her total cost right there has to be less than her $50 budget. And then we just go ahead and solve. So subtract 35 from each side. And then we divide by, 22 hundredths. And we get m is less than or equal to 68.18 repeating. All right, so 68 and 18 hundredths repeating. So if you go back, the question says, what is the maximum number of whole miles? Well, she has to be less than 68 and 18 hundredths repeating. So her maximum number of whole miles, the answer would be 68 miles. That's the maximum number of whole miles that she can drive. So I hope that these 3 questions helped you feel a little bit more confident. Good luck. I'm sure that if you were smart enough to look at these problems and work them out, that you have helped your chances of doing well tomorrow and proving that you know what you're talking about. So don't be nervous. Just do your best. See you tomorrow.